What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? Let me just make sure everything is, yep, should be playing just fine. How we doing? We doing okay? I sure hope we're doing okay. First things first, Happy New Year, all right? New Year, same lack of haircut. I've been wanting to get a haircut for a little while, but I just keep putting it off, you know? When it comes to my hair and my beard, right? Because I really don't care what I look like insofar as, like, my hair and my beard a lot of the time. I just let it grow out until I get sick of it. Maybe I'll clean the beard up just a little bit because I don't like when my mustache is all the way down here or something like that, right? But excuse me. Typically, typically I'm just like whatever, you know. But I'm getting at a point. I want that haircut. I want that haircut. Damn it. And yeah, so that's annoying. It's like it's weird. I don't care until I care, and then that's all I see when I look in the mirror is just like fuck. I need a haircut. Fuck. I need a haircut. Fuck. I need a haircut. You know, but it is what it is. Anyway, what is going on? Young Tilt, what is going on? Whoa, WH, what is going on? Cavalog, also, what is going on? Fish. I don't know why. It's on top chat right now. It's probably not on live chat. Yes, but Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. All right. I appreciate you guys popping in. I did not stream for the New Year specifically because I was in Baltimore, Maryland. And I have to say, I wasn't crazy about Baltimore at first, but by the time I left, I was there for 4 days. By the time I left, I was like, man, I kind of don't want to fucking leave. You know, they call it Charm City. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it 100,000% deserves that title or anything like that, right? But it's a nice city, right? When you're not in one of the ghetto areas, that is. If you go to like Little Italy, if you go to like Canton, which is a place in, it's funny. There's a place in Massachusetts. It's called Canton, all right. And then there's a place in Baltimore called Canton. It's like a subsection of Baltimore. It was set up by this railway company called the Canton Railway Company. So that's kind of funny. But then in Canton, there's also a street called Boston Street. So it's like I'm sitting here. I'm not in Massachusetts anymore, but it feels like I am. Feels like I am. Damn it. But yeah, I was in a nice area, and honestly, like it was nice. It was nice. I really enjoyed my time there. I didn't enjoy the plane ride though. I'm not a flyer at all. I'm not a guy who flies. It's not my thing. I would rather drive, take a train, fucking hitchhike if I can. And I used Baltimore as a way to kind of help get over my fear of flying, and it did help a little bit. The first one I was very afraid for, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I'm not gonna let anyone know that, right? But I was like very, very nervous, and I'll be honest with you, right? It was real fucking annoying. So I'll try and keep it brief. But we flew Spirit, first mistake. We get there, the flight is supposed to take off at like I want to say like 9 p.m. something like that. We're supposed to get there the same day that we took off, right? They pushed it forward 4 hours or so. Our new takeoff time, our new departure time was like just before midnight. Then they pushed it back another like 45 minutes, then another 45 minutes, so that at a certain point, they had delayed it so much that it was like we weren't going to be able to take off until the next day. So because of that, we had to get a hotel. They paid for the hotel, but by the time they got us the hotel, we could only lay down for like 2 hours, right? And then we had to get our asses back up, get back through TSA, and then wait to get on the plane, right? So there's one thing. Now, what made it worse is that I'm sitting here on Twitter waiting to take off. This is the night before, right? I'm waiting to take off. We're in the fucking terminal, just chilling, doing our thing. And there's this account that I subscribe to. This account that I follow, it's called Real 911 or something like that. It's a pretty big account. I'm sure you probably follow it too. But no, I think it was like Raw News Alert or something like that. Either way, one of the bigger like quote unquote non-biased news accounts. And it shows me this crash landing of a fucking Airbus in Korea. And I'm sitting here nervous as fuck before. Then I see this, and of course I have to watch it. I can't look away from it. I just had to watch it, right? Bobby Nutsack, I'm not going to be showing it on here. Anyway, Um, but yeah, like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. But basically, I watch it, right? And it shows this plane skidding across the ground. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's a crash landing, and that sucks, but nobody's dead. Nobody's dead right now. They're just skidding across the ground. I'm sure it's going to be all good. I'm sure they're going to be fine. It's going to slow down and stop eventually. And as soon as I think that, it goes right into a barrier that is there for some reason. I don't know why. And it fucking goes up in flames. All people dead. So I'm waiting to get on a plane for the first time in 20 years. The last time I've been on a plane, I was 10 years old with my mommy and daddy going to fucking Orlando for some Disney, right? I have not been on a plane since then. Pretty afraid of it. I turned down thousands of dollars from Sam. Right, here's a quick little side story. When season 1 of Fish Tank was going on, we were training Jeremy from the quartering in the backyard of that house, and he was getting ready for a fight versus Review Tech USA, and Sam wasn't going to be able to go out there and corner him. So Sam's like, "Yo, do you want to corner him?" And I was like, "It's in England. I don't know if I can do that, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to take the chance of showing up to the plane ride over there and being like, no, I can't do it. Sorry, I can't get on that plane. I don't want to take the chance of having that happen, right? So I turned down money that Sam was like, literally, Sam was trying to sweeten the pot and be like, "What if I paid you a couple $1,000s?" I turned it down because that's how nervous I was about flying. I didn't want to take the chance of being like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it," and then it's time to board the plane, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't." I didn't want to take the chance. So it's like, that's just how nervous I was for flying. And of course, that's the video that would fucking show. But luckily, everything was all good. During the first flight, I was nervous because we hit quite a bit of turbulence on the way down. We're doing that final descent shit. And the plane just just keeps doing that. And it's like, the only way I could describe it is like the feeling of the Tower of Terror. If you ever rode the Tower of Terror when it was at Disney, I think it's at Universal now, but if you ever rode the Tower of Terror, excuse me, there's a point where you're all the way up high, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. You know you're gonna drop suddenly. But even though you know it's gonna happen, it's just like, man, it's just like so much. Just the way you feel the seat kind of leave your ass for a second, and then you follow and you kind of plop back down onto the seat. It was like, oh man, that was that feeling. And I felt that multiple times during the first plane ride, and I was just like, fuck, dude, fuck. But anyway, um, but yeah. Oh, Bobby Nutsack said he knows I won't show it, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. It's like I said, I'm not Plagued Moth over here. All right, talking about that knife video from the Ukraine thing. I'm not Plagued Moth. This isn't gonna be some weird little like execution in the public square type thing where it's like, haha, yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 look at that. Oh, that's not what this is. I'm not gonna show the footage to you guys on here. I'm still debating as to whether or not I should even allow audio to play for you guys, right? I'm thinking I might mute the audio on your end so you don't hear anything. And what we're doing here, what I'm doing here is going to be live reacting to it. Not, again, in like an entertainment kind of way, but in a cold, calculated, analytical kind of way. To tell you guys, one, what is kind of happening in the moment, but two, the ramifications of the things that happened. Okay, because when it comes to knife fighting and stuff like that, a lot of people are delusional, and when it comes to fighting in general, a lot of people are delusional. They're just absolutely like fucking idiotic about their belief in their belief in themselves. And because of that, like I'm trying to make this into a thing because I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. But I'm trying to make this into a thing where it's like, hey, this is a knife fight. This is what happens when two guys have knives. Don't ever get into that. Don't ever get into that. Don't ever get into that shit. Another thing I want to say too is that this is not some political video or political stream or anything like that. I have my opinions on the Ukraine war. They probably don't 1,000,000% line up with yours. And even if I do line up with somebody else's, it's like I probably have them for a different reason, you know? Oh, excuse me. The only people whose opinions that I really 100% expect, geez, respect, are the people who are involved in these wars. And even then, it's like, well, there's so many different points of view from people on both sides, you know? And it's tough to sit here and feel comfortable sharing what I believe in such a matter of fact or hardline way. You know, I wouldn't try that because it's like, what's even the fucking point? I'm all the way over in America. I'm not involved in that on either side, so I'm not going to be like Ukraine did this, Russia did that. Oh, you know, it's foolish. You know, it's just fucking foolish. Um, but yeah, anyway, um, flying is super safe, but at the same time, it's incredibly dangerous. And honestly, problems and accidents are super rare, but also they happen literally all the time. So make of that what you will. Well, you see, yeah, for one thing, I don't think humans are meant to fly. I kind of agree with you. And I like by now you would think that they would have some kind of technology to make boats that much faster. You know, maybe not be there in a day faster, but you get what I'm saying. But you know, they don't. So it is what it is. Um, yeah, and the thing, like one of the things that I always tell myself, and it kind of alleviates some of the stress of flying for me, is uh, f- crashes or issues with planes are so rare that when they happen, they make the news. They make national and international headlines. That's how rare those things are, especially when you're talking about airliners. Um, it's so rare that there's some issue with those that when it does happen, when an issue does happen, it is gigantic news. It is the entire world stops and looks at their TV or their computer monitor or their phone news, right? That's how rare it is. How many car crashes do you think happen every day? So many that they don't even bother to talk about it. Maybe in like your municipality, you might check Facebook and it's like, oh, there's a crash on Beacon Street, you know. But like other than that, like a town over, nobody even knows what happened. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Maybe you get a little bit of talk about a crash when it's like doing the traffic on the news, you know. And now here's Don Johnson with the traffic. Yes, on I-95 there is a rollover, and there's also a crash about a mile down the road. So that's going to affect your this, your that, right? That's the most you get out of it. So it's kind of a situation where it's like, well, what are the odds? You know, I'm literally more in danger of getting into a car crash than I am of anything else. Literally anything else. You know, driving is the least safe way to travel. You know, statistically, right? So that's kind of something that I tell myself a little bit here and there. You know, I'm gonna knock on wood. But yeah, anyway. Um, you ever seen a speedboat crash? Yeah, those things are wild. Those things are wild. What's going on, JC? Also, Rusty Corvine, Gay Guy, Cavalog, Autist, Smart Moron, whoever else popped in that I may have missed. I apologize. But anyway, so I'm not gonna get right into watching the video. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look for it now. I have not actually seen it. This will be the first time that I've seen it, and apparently it's a GoPro video, which definitely, you see, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that it's it's oh, hold on one sec. Sorry. I gotta show you guys this. I gotta show you guys this. Hold on. Yeah, you see his eyes widen. You see his eyes widen. Look, you see his eyes widen. That's hilarious, bro. Holy shit. You see, that's what I try to make sure my timeline is, right? I don't wanna wake up, check Twitter, and the first thing I see in the morning is like, oh, there's a cartel beheading, you know. Um, but yeah, I haven't actually. Sorry, one sec. I haven't actually seen this, you know, and damn. All right. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Right there. Um yeah. I haven't actually seen this, all right? And because of that, I can't sit here and tell you guys like every little thing that's about to go down with it. You know, I have no clue of everything that's going to happen here. Now, I will say that there was a video that we're going to watch after this, and we'll be able to actually watch it. Watch it. It's not just going to be like me sitting here telling you what's going on and reacting to it all. But like there's a video where the guy apparently it was Yakushin, which is like a Russian Eskimo, basically. Um, like they he recounts what happened, and we'll go ahead and we'll watch that, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But oh, excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, um, my timeline is strictly comprised of people living between dimensions. It's probably better than death videos, that's for sure. I said this earlier, right? You have to protect your timeline, and that means like you can't give in to the excitement because at the end of the day, there is excitement to be had. Watching street fights and watching like fucked up hood videos, the next wannabe world star hip hop showing a video where like two bitches fight or like some dude walks in with a camera on his girl sucking some dude's dick. Like there's excitement to be had there, right? It's voyeuristic, um and it's just our human condition that we're going to be so ignorant and that we're going to be so like prone to doing foolish and carnal things, and I don't necessarily mean like killing and cheating and stuff like that. I mean wanting to look when some kind of tragedy or just otherwise fucked up thing is occurring. It's our natural instinct to want to do that. I've seen plenty of things where I'm like, it's fucked up, but I can't look away, or like, oh, I want to see if this is actually as bad as it really sounds like it is, and things like that. And I think with the internet, that's something that the millennial generation had to deal with, and it only got worse with the Zoomer generation and potentially even Generation Alpha. It's pretty fucked up. I remember watching porn when I was a teenager, and it was just all the regular run of the mill stuff. The last time I looked at Pornhub, it was all like shit that even by like 2017, 2018 standards is still fucking weird. There's all this like foot job shit, and there's all this like tranny porn just like littered around the place. It's fucking insane, right? And I'm highlighting this just as an example of how like um we didn't protect the timeline. And I don't mean like, oh, we're on the good timeline. I mean literally like the timeline, our Twitter timelines, our Facebook timelines, our everything. And because of that, now everything is just like so fucked up. And what ends up happening is you end up in a situation where like hoodfights.com, their Twitter account, is posting a video of a dude getting beat up, and you watch that and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. You don't like it, you don't follow them, you don't bookmark it, you don't interact with it, but just the fact that you stopped for more than a half a second and then you scrolled away, uh Twitter is like, oh, he wants more of this. He wants more of this. That got him to stop. He wants more of this, is what he wants. We're going to give him more of it. And now, because of that, you're getting more hood fights, and you're stopping and looking at each hood fight. Eventually, one of those hood fights has a dude getting beat with a baseball bat, or hit by a car, or somebody's holding them at gunpoint, or something like that. And you're like, whoa, that's crazy, that's fucked up, bro, wow, I want to get away from this. But again, because you're not saying, hey Twitter, I don't want to see this, Twitter assumes you want to see it. And slowly but surely you find your way into war footage Twitter, or gore Twitter, or something like that is what ends up happening. So when you see this shit, right, like me, I'm taking a risk just watching this for you guys, right? When you see this shit, you legit have to be like, oh, that's disgusting. I'm gonna, oh, I'm gonna hit follow. I'm gonna mute is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell them that I'm not interested in this post. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the other thing. That's what you have to be able to do. It's just that's what it is, you know. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just are like, oh, whatever, and then they get to that point where they're like, oh, 7-minute knife fight video, you know. It's just like, fuck, dude, fucking a, you know. um. Anyway, sorry, I'm just curious about something here. Interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave it up to you. Should I even leave it up to you guys? Uh, uh, nah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do any kind of not headphones. Audio. I'm not gonna do audio. I'm not gonna let you guys see the audio. Sorry guys. It's just not to see the audio. I'm not gonna let you guys hear the audio, you know? Oh, geez. Wrong one. What the hell? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That's so weird. I just had a 7-minute video up here. The whole 7-minute video up here is what I was looking for. Nope. Okay. That's weird. Oh. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna have you guys hear the audio or anything like that. I'm just gonna listen to the audio, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about this. All right. That's a downside on the platform that does allow mostly anything. Oh yeah, turd flinging monkey, right? He's a MGTOW YouTuber that I used to listen to. I stopped listening to him for a while, or more like a while ago, because they were just things. They were just things, you know. But one thing that he said that still rings true today is, if you want free speech, you're gonna have to hear the N word every now and again. It's just a fact of the matter. And this is kind of the same situation where it's like, if you want a platform where anything goes, you're going to have to see some shit every now and again. But at the very least, like I said, you can protect your timeline. You know, like, seriously, put effort into protecting your timeline, you know. Put effort into protecting your timeline. Okay? Like, whenever you see, because it never, like I said, it never starts out with like full on cartel beheading. It doesn't start out with ISIS favela torture video. It doesn't start out with that. It doesn't just show you that right away. It starts out with you know, two guys in fucking DC, the hood of DC or the Bronx, beating the hell out of each other, you know. So, like, as fascinating as the voyeur can be, you gotta be like, nah, I can't do that. But um anyway, um the video is on YouTube, so you should be good. Yeah, but I don't want to be showing that to you guys. I really just, I don't want to be showing it to you guys like that. I don't want to be someone who's like I don't want to be someone who's like spreading that around, you know. Even now, it's like I'm kind of you know, I'm kind of stalling right now as is. You know, I just got to get to it. I'm not like nervous or anything. It's just like, I particularly don't want to watch this video, but I feel that there's a potential for a teachable moment here for people who watch thinking, or not watch, but for people who think knife fights are like gonna be some John Wick shit. You know, I actually have a video coming out by Jesse. It was me reacting to a Jesse Enkamp video. Um, and he went to a guy who specializes in knife training or something like that, and he claims to have trained with special forces, you know, Green Ranger SEALs. He trained with the Green Ranger SEALs is what he did, you know. And it's for shit like that is why I'm doing this, you know. But anyway, with that said, all right, so I'm playing right now. A guy is walking up. He just checked around a corner. This dude right here has what looks to be some kind of AR platform, or like, yeah, I mean, maybe an M4 or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna pause as I need to talk about things. So right now he's slowly making his way through a fence, walking through some rubble, and the firing just started. I don't know who fired first. I would assume it was the other guy. What's going on, baby? I'm streaming right now. All right, so right now we're just getting gunfire. There's nothing like too crazy here. One thing I will say is that this shows you how crazy a gunfight is. I'm surprised these guys aren't just straight up mag dumping. They're definitely firing in quick succession, but I'm surprised they're not just absolutely burning through everything just for the sake of it. Even this part right here just goes to show that it's no joke. There's a franticness to a gunfight that is happening within that range. And the thing is, most gunfights that you are going to get into as a civilian are going to happen within, I think it's like 5 to 7 feet, maybe even less than that. So it's just not good. And when I say gunfights, I don't even just mean like gun on gun. I mean, you have a gun and the other guy is running at you, or God forbid, the other guy has a gun and you're running at him. It looks like somebody got hit at some point, because there was a little bit of blood on the dude's hands, the dude with the GoPro. Here's the start of the melee. So one thing I will say is that Ukraine dude, right? So we'll just call him Ukraine and Russia, right? Ukraine had a smart move. He waited around the corner until he saw the barrel of Russia's gun, and he used that to close distance. So right now he's actually getting the better of the situation, but it's still kind of a 50-50 spot. Trying to see what I can see and who I can see, because right now I can't see anything. All I know is that Ukraine is on his back right now. He's got the knife, and he tried to stab. I don't know if he successfully did or not, but right now Ukraine has a knife in his left hand, and Russia is using his, I would assume, right arm to frame off of. In fact, I will show you this part. I'll show you this still image here. He's using his, what I would assume, his right hand to frame off of Ukraine's arm, which is, it's a smart move. Because now Ukraine, when he tries to go forward, he's not going to be able to do so. And, it's a shit show. I could sit here and be like, this is what he should have done. And I will do a little bit of that, as time goes on. But, I think the thing that I want to highlight here is just how quickly something can devolve, and as coordinated as everybody thinks they will be, even people with a lot of training and stuff like that, when it comes down to it, and when it's two guys who are in there and their lives depend on it, things get real sloppy. It's like trying to fight on ice skates when you've never skated before. And that's kind of what happened here. Ukraine, again, I want to try to avoid sitting here like, here's what I would have done, right? Because that's not what I want to do. I am talking about this from an analytical standpoint, though. But Ukraine could have drew his knife a little bit, not quicker, but a little bit earlier, and he may have been able to surprise. Well, he would have been able to surprise Russia and get him before any of this even really went down. The thing about stab wounds is that they tend to they can be all over the place. Depending on where you get someone, they'll die within seconds. Other times they'll bleed out. Other times they'll bleed, but they won't die. If you get the medical attention quick enough. And really, it's just, when it comes to a knife fight, it's all about how much you can stab somebody and how quickly you can do it before they have a chance to do it to you. That's really what it is at the end of the day. But with that said, let's keep on going. And who's this fucking asshole, my Lord Bebo, really gonna put his... Hold on, real quick. He's really gonna put his fucking watermark on this video. What a fucking bitch, dude. That's such a what a fucking asshole move, dude. Fuck that. Anyway. Alright, so they're fighting for the knife right now. You can't really see too much of anything. And okay, yeah. So hold on one sec. No, actually. Huh. I was actually incorrect. I was incorrect. This is Russia. This is Ukraine right here. This is Russia. This is Ukraine. I was confused by the angle because you couldn't see this, right? This is another guy. This is not Ukraine. This is Russia right here. So actually Russia already has a knife. I don't know if this is his knife or if this is Ukraine's knife and he took it from him. But I will say that when I saw that video of Russia talking about the encounter, when I saw him talking about that encounter, it sounded like he had to take the knife from Ukraine. Is what it seemed like, you know. But anyway, with that said. So, what Ukraine should be trying to do right now, if he has the ability to do so, which I'm not sure if he does because of the fact that it looks like Russia was able to sink the knife into him at least once. From where it's looking right now, it looks like he may have been able to stick him at least once. Um, he should be trying to get on top, all right, because it's better for you to be on top of somebody who has a knife because you can at least exert better control. But yeah, so he tried to get up and it just didn't work very well. Oh, looks like Ukraine has a knife, or he got a knife. Or he got the knife, excuse me, and he's trying to stab Russia, but I don't know how well it's going right now. So now they're struggling for the knife again, it looks like. Yeah, they're struggling for the knife, and looks like, yeah, Russia has the blade in his hand. Russia has the blade in his hand, and he was biting the hand of the Ukrainian guy. And this, like, if anything, this is a moment where you need to understand that a fight of any kind, but especially a fight of this nature, I felt this way in my MMA fights, but definitely not to the degree that these guys felt. There's a certain desperation that occurs specifically when you're on the ground in an MMA fight, where it's frantic. There is a frantic desperation that occurs, and that's what these two guys are feeling right now. And the thing to remember about a fight of any kind, but especially unarmed combat, including and especially one where you have gone to the ground with somebody else. The thing to remember is whoever the more violent guy is typically going to be the one that wins. Um, it really comes down to who is going to be the more frantic one, who is going to be okay with the idea of biting someone's finger off, the idea of, like having to hurt somebody until they physically cannot move, whether it's because they're dead or if it's because they're just too damaged. And I'm not telling you that, like, next time somebody bumps into you at a bar, you start gouging eyes and shit like that. That's obviously not what I mean at all. But I'm just trying to highlight the reality of what a fight is, especially a knife fight for your life. I'm kind of mad at myself because there was a term that I learned over the last day or two, and I kept repeating it in my head. I was like just repeating, and I have completely forgotten what it is now. But it's used to describe the intensity, the level of violence that you're willing to use, right? And it kind of is a good way to explain the relation between strength and technique, where you have a lot of guys, especially jujitsu guys. I'm not going to make this a, fuck jujitsu rant here, but you have a lot of guys who they're like, dude, nah, just do the technique, bro. All you need is the technique, and it's all good, bro. You got technique, you don't need anything else, dude. It's not about strength, bro. It's about technique. Ha ha. If you have technique and zero strength, you're just going to get bowled over by someone who has strength and zero technique, because at the end of the day, like, you need to be able to stop somebody from pressuring into you. You need to be able to stop someone from pushing and pulling you around. Whether you realize it or not, you're using strength when you're using technique, and you can use more strength in your technique when you are really, really trying to go for it, you know? And this is a situation where even if you had technique, you should be going as hard as you possibly can and trying to do as much damage as quickly and as efficiently as possible, because it's like I said, you end up like a baby deer on ice skates, on fucking rollerblades in these predicaments. So anytime you get anything close to the upper hand, you have to make it count. You have to maximize that. And that's how you're going to do that, is not by thinking, okay, I'm going to hit an arm bar after I hit this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit a berimbolo, because that's what I do in my jiu-jitsu class. Haha, no. It's hit this guy until he can't move anymore, you know? Don't start submission hunting unless that submission is something you can do safely, you know? It's just, you gotta truly 110% go for it. And I'm so mad that I forgot the name of this term. It's one of those tactical terms, like, SWAT guys and fucking, SWAT guys and Krav Maga guys probably use it a lot. And therefore it's like kind of cringe, but it's true. It's like 100% true, you know? You can see the Russian guy missing a chunk of his ear in the vid. Damn, that's pretty wild, you know? That's pretty wild, you know? Be very quick. You've got to have the killer instinct God gave you. Yeah, yeah, and even that is like, like you're not, you're correct, JC. It's not even that you're just not wrong. It's just like you're correct about it. That just is what it is. But like, there's a reason why a lot of cultures in the ancient world, back when blade combat was a much bigger piece, was a much bigger part of it, there's a reason why so many of them prided themselves, in terms of their warriors and just men in general, on this like feral nature, this like ability to just tap into this primal like anger and things like that, whether it's like Viking berserkers, or if it's um if it's like the Celts, charging into battle naked type shit. There's a reason why, and it's because that is what is absolutely required to do something like that to somebody. It's not just enough to call a killer instinct and then be like, okay, yeah, haha. No, it's like, it's got to be something that like it's animalistic. You have to become an animal. You have to become a feral beast to be willing to do something like that. You have to be screaming, frothing at the mouth, scary. Like your friends are almost as scared of you as they are of the other guy. Scary. That's what you have to be able to become. That's what you have to be able to do. So even calling it killer instinct, well, like, yeah, you are right, JC, for sure. It doesn't it's not enough. It's just not even enough. You have to be able to become something else entirely to be able to survive situations like that. And we don't have to worry about that as much anymore, because we have guns now. Dudes aren't charging into battle with swords or anything like that. But it is like 100% like that's why back when that was the way people fought, that's why they were that way. That's why so many cultures have that that animalistic, like almost feral cat, feral dog, feral human kind of quality to them when it comes to the way that they think of warfare and things like that. Even the Romans, like, yeah, they had a more regimented form of warfare, but that doesn't mean that they were like SEAL Team 6, clear, barging into a room, clear, right corner, clear. That's not what it was. They were still very much, excuse me, they were still very, very much able to tap into that brutal side. It's just that they combine that technique with that brutal animalistic piece, right? Is what they did. Same thing with the Japanese, like the Japanese known to be very stoic, very, very calm, cool, collected, very respectful. But it takes a certain kind of guy to hop into an airplane and fly it into a fucking ship, you know. Or you had basically the land version of that, the army version of that in the Japanese army, where they'd take this pole, they'd pack it with explosives, and they'd run towards a tank and shove the pole into the barrel of the tank, so when the tank fired, it would explode, right? And that guy didn't survive. It takes a certain kind of guy to do that. It takes a certain kind of guy to do a bonsai charge. It takes a certain kind of guy to be able to kill somebody with a blade, And samurai, we have this belief about the samurai that like, oh, they were stoic, very, very, very civilized, and it's like, yeah, they were civilized only because they were forced to be. They were actually monsters, is what it came down to. And we live in a feminized society today where if we believe that there's no reason to be a monster ever. There's no reason to have that sort of bite. And because of that, like, we have kind of wanted to revise history and revise how these people were. But in addition to that, anytime there's any sort of like masculine energy that is aggressive, we try and beat that out of the kid. Or we disincentivize it in some form. Go to the DMV, the fucking fat old lady behind the counter is rude to you, and you're like, "Ma'am, don't be fucking talking to me like that." All of a sudden the security guard is there, like, "Is there a problem?" That kind of shit. You're not allowed to stand up for yourself anymore. you know it's crazy. But anyway. Hmm. Yeah, he definitely bit something. Yeah, he bit the guy's hand, I'm pretty sure, but then in addition to that, he also bit the guy's wrist a second ago. And they're still fighting for the knife. Ukraine still has the handle, and Russia still has the blade, which is pretty crazy. It looks like Ukraine's trying to gouge Russia's eye. Oh, yeah. And I'm pretty sure you saw Russia talking later, and he said that Ukraine tried to stab him here and he missed. And that's probably why part of his ear is missing, because I can see, the ear missing. We're only a little over 2 minutes into this right now. That's crazy. So it looks like Russia has the knife now. Yeah, Russia has the knife now. Ukraine's trying to box the hand out, but it's just not working out. And that's another thing about these situations is that, like, Ukraine, even if he's not as wounded right now, which I'm not sure who's more wounded at this point, but even if he's not as wounded right now, he's definitely tired. And that's another thing is fighting, especially grappling exchanges like this, are the most tiring thing you will do in your entire life. Even MMA is not as tiring because it's not like it's just a straight up grappling exchange. The most tiring thing I've ever done in my life was wrestling, and then after that would probably be jujitsu. Because wrestling is just a constant go, go, go pace. The reason why jujitsu is a little bit better in that regard is because it tends to be a little bit more start, stop, start, stop. But it's still like not much less tiring. I guarantee you, Ukraine is extremely tired, and that plays into what ends up happening with him. So yeah, Ukraine has definitely been stabbed by now. Hmm. Yeah, so we have Russia. He was picking up rocks and things like that, trying to use it on the guy. I don't know if he successfully did or not, but then you also see him trying to bite Ukraine as well. So yeah, they're talking to each other right now. Seems like things are seems like yeah, they're still fighting a little bit, but it's definitely slowing down. Yeah, so Russia's pretty much got the upper hand now. You can hear the heavy breathing, which is exactly what I was talking about. They're both extremely tired. Yeah, it's pretty much over. Almost seems like there was some kind of explosion or something like that. Again, what a fucking asshole, dude. Fuck this guy, bro. Fuck this guy. But yeah, so overall it's there's a couple of takeaways from this, right? The best thing you can do in terms of a knife fight is to close distance and end up on top. You don't want to be fighting for a knife from the bottom. Now, the main thing you have to be focusing on in a knife fight is controlling the knife, not even just the arm of the person, but the knife specifically. Because the thing is, if you go too high up on the arm, for one thing, somebody will just try and stab you. But for another thing, like, and I discovered this playing around with my friend, right? He had a cap gun and he was pointing it at me, and I grabbed his wrist, and he literally just went like that. People will switch hands. They'll do a bunch of stuff, right? There's so many things that could occur in a fight of any kind, but especially a knife or a gunfight, that it's you got to be careful. But overall, like, grappling is actually a much better way to try and survive a knife fight than a like whatever bullshit Kali, Eskrima, Arnis, Filipino martial arts shit that they try and say, right? And this is actually provable because HEMA, right? One of the only versions, or one of the only forms of weapons-based combat that is actually worth a damn, HEMA. When they study the manuals from a time where sword fighting was an actual real thing, all the best sword fighting teachers, the guys who actually made these manuals that hundreds of years later HEMA nerds are reading to try and get a feel for what weapons-based combat is so that they can do it better, they all say, like, whoever's going to win a knife fight or a sword fight is always going to be the guy who is the better wrestler. Whoever is a better wrestler is going to be the one to win a blade fight, a fight with a blade. That's what's always going to happen, right? And that's the situation here. That's what happened with this situation, is there was no weird, like, ha, 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 ha. Like, if you see a lot of these fucking guys who claim to be knife gurus and shit like that, the Doug Marquetas of the world, you'll see that they do this fucking drilling where they have a karambit that's like dull, and they're just like ho, 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 with a partner, you know. It's like the partner tries to stab, and he's like ho, 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 right? It's just fucking bullshit. You don't want to do that. You want to close distance if you can't run away from someone with a knife. If you can't run away from someone with a knife, you want to close distance to the point where, one, you either have the upper hand in terms of the position, or two, at the very least, they're not going to be able to stab you very well. Because there was a point where Ukraine had the knife and he was trying to stab Russia, but it wasn't working very well for him. And not only that, but Russia was able to get the knife back, and that's because Russia is the one who ended up on top of that exchange. Another thing, I paused and I ended up talking about this a little bit. You need to have, I believe it was like violence of action is the term that I was trying to remember earlier, was violence of action, where it's not enough to just be like, okay, I'm gonna throw a punch. It's, no, I need to throw a punch hard, fast, because I need it. I need to mean this punch, whatever you're doing, you have to do it 100%, and even more than 100%. You have to be able to tap into a certain primal will to survive that a lot of people don't naturally just like have an easy time tapping into. It's something that I have always had, but it's something that was suppressed in me, just like a lot of other men out there. I'm sure there's tons of other men that also understand this, there's always been this like animalistic rage that I've had when I get that angry. And naturally, that's not a good thing to whip out at like the bank or your job or something like that. But there's a time and a place for it. And a time and a place for it would be when there's somebody who has a knife that's trying to kill you, if you don't have that, or if you don't have the capability of tuning into that, you're at a disadvantage, And I'm not even saying either of these guys particularly had it. However, I will say that Russia definitely wanted to survive probably a little bit more, considering the amount of biting he was doing, and just all the things that you could see from the GoPro footage that were occurring. It's just something to, it's just something to, it's something to think about. It's something to understand. Also, like I said, I think this is one of the first things that I said about this video. Um, when you're in a fight with somebody who is trying to kill you and you're trying to kill them, it's not going to be some John Wick shit where you grab their wrist and you whoa, and they're like, whoa, they flip. And then you get to hit an armbar on them, and haha, yeah. Then you get up, and the next guy is already coming at you, and you hit a judo throw, and you punch him 3 times in the throat, and now his windpipe's collapsed, and he's choking out on the ground. That's not what it is. It's gonna be like you collide with somebody trying to close distance. No takedown. You both just whoop. You do that, and then somebody falls over because of that, and because you had no clue that was going to happen, you weren't prepared for it at all, you slip off the guy, and now that dude's trying to get on top of you, and you're trying to avoid him getting on top of you, right? It's going to be a situation where you're slipping and sliding. It's only going to get worse because you're going to get tired, you're going to get sweaty, and in this case you're going to get bloody. Blood is a very slippery liquid, and it's something that, like, you can train for, I guess, but when it comes down to it, that adrenaline pumping through your body, it's going to make you really, really imprecise. Really, really, really imprecise. And this is something that I talked about with the Gracie gun disarms. It's one of the more recent videos that I put out. If you watch that, I talk about how Gracie's gun disarms, Hori and Gracie's gun disarms are bullshit, because it makes the assumption that you're just going to be able to do this shit like it's no problem. It makes the assumption that you're just going to be like, oh yeah, haha, I'll be able to no problem, when the reality is you're gonna fuck up. That's what's going to happen. It's just a fact of the matter, and it's because of all the adrenaline, and because of the fact that his adrenaline is pumping, not just yours, but his too, right? But yeah, thank you very much, JVD Media, for becoming a member. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Y'all see the French-trained Ukrainian contingency that has had 1,400 plus deserters? Nah, I haven't seen that. It's better to get a gun if you can, as opposed to learning a martial art. Well, yeah, I guess, but not really. Because a gun gives you, like, I've talked about this so many times that I don't even want to talk about it anymore, and I don't know why people would come into the martial arts guys' shit trying to counter-signal them like that, but getting a gun is a great idea, and you definitely should be able to, but what happens when you forget your gun at home? What happens when you don't have it with you right that second? What happens when it jams? What happens when you drop it by mistake? Again, like I said, adrenaline. Adrenaline's a real thing. What happens when you miss? Legit, stranger things have happened than a mag dump from 5 feet away and all of the fucking bullets miss, Some fucking Boondocks shit. There's so many issues that can arise. That you can't just rely on a firearm. And any gun guy who is worth his salt will tell you that you shouldn't just rely on guns, and it's just it's a fool's gambit believing you can buy a gun and everything's all good, because it also becomes this weird thing where it's like, what, that's your one answer to everything, is either fight or don't fight, and when you fight, it means you have to kill the guy. Like, of course not, there's many states out there where when you draw your gun, that's a felony right there. You will be put in prison for it. I couldn't, like in Massachusetts, if somebody came at me and I had a gun on me, even if it was a legal firearm that I got specifically for defense in and out of the house, right? If I draw that gun and it's later determined that I didn't have legal reason to do so, then I am now a felon and my gun's getting taken away from me. Not only that, but I'm also doing time in prison. And for what? Because I wanted to protect myself. It's just situations where it's like, you gotta think about like what you're saying and what you're doing and why you're saying it and why you're doing it, Like, your answer to everything shouldn't be Gotcha. It shouldn't be that. You know, you should have a lot of space that is covered between I'm not going to fight this guy and I'm going to shoot and kill him, right? And before anyone tries to say, "Oh, well, what if you just shoot to wound?" I don't think any of you guys would actually say that. You know, I I don't think any of you guys would actually say that. I think you're all smarter than to say something like that. But you don't shoot to wound, quote unquote. That's not a thing. You know, if you're shooting somebody to wound them, that means you weren't actually afraid for your life in the first place. That according to a lot of according to a lot of these court systems and shit like that. There's so many rules and regulations regarding guns and things like that. It almost makes it not worth it to even have a gun, depending on where you are. Like me, I completed the course to get a firearms certification. I got a firearms certification. I didn't bother going through with actually getting a gun though, because just the hoops that you have to jump through in my state, combined with the fact that even when you do get a gun, it's like, all right, if somebody breaks into my house and I shoot them and it turns out they only had a knife, there's a good chance I might end up going down, or like some other just like weird esoteric shit like that, Massachusetts has castle doctrine, but you get the idea. Like it's just foolish to think that you can buy a gun and then that's everything and you're all set, you're all good, because if it exists on Earth, it's imperfect and it will malfunction. There will be some weird political or social issue that comes from you using your gun, and I'd rather not have to go through some fucking weird murder trial because some guy that I could have just beaten up and waited for the cops to get there, I ended up shooting. And now the fucking state of Massachusetts is like, oh, well, you weren't really afraid for your life, Um, people who practice their draw in boxers at 5:30 in the morning but haven't done a push-up in years. And that's the other piece of it too, is that, and I'm not saying this is true about you, smart moron. I'm not trying to say this is you, but like that's where a lot of this just buy a gun bullshit comes from, is that there's a lot of guys out there who, like, they're fatter than me, and they haven't played a sport since they were in like high school. They got cut from the high school basketball team and they were like, fuck it, who cares, I ain't playing no sports. It's just lazy fucks. It's lazy, fat, out of shape, foolish fucking people who, their idea of like, oh, I'm a man is, well, I have a gun, because that really is what it is. It's kind of a combination of like not wanting to actually have to put in the work to become better than you were before, with this like weird cowboy fantasy. People hate it when the shit libs are like, oh, you just want to feel like you're Dirty Harry. You just want to feel like you're John Wick, don't you? Don't you? People hate it when the shit libs say that, but you know what? It's true to a degree, if we're being honest here. There's a lot of dudes out there who are like, yeah, this is the John Wick gun. Yeah, I'm like John Wick now. I do the Mozambique drill. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. Yeah, got him. And it's just like fucking stupid. It's foolish, Gun dudes are the worst. Gun dudes are even worse than like Tai Chi dudes and things like that. Because even though Tai Chi dudes shit doesn't work, it's typically not going to get you put in prison, But gun dudes, their shit works too well. And because of that, you will get put in prison because of it. And then also, it only gives you the nuclear option, In terms of self-defense, a firearm is the nuclear option, where it's like, it's like there needs to be something that comes before that. Imagine if Russia put an embargo on us. They were like, you know what? We're not going to do business with you. And as a result, we nuked Russia. Like, no, there is a whole 400 miles between Russia embargoes us and we nuke the fuck out of them. That needs to be accounted for. You don't just go from here to here. It's got to be, we embargo them. They further embargo us. We start targeting their friends. Okay, fine, nuclear war. That's what it has to be. And a lot of people, all they have is the nuclear option because they're just lazy fucks. Is really what it is at the end of the day. Um, I definitely want one, and I'm a gun guy, but I'm not an idiot, and I don't want to just rely on that. I want to, I want to be like a Marine, of course. I remember Charles, I think, saying this one time: "Real gun dudes don't even let you know they have guns." Oh yeah, 100%. I had no. It took me 27, 28 years to realize my grandfather had guns. He never mentioned a fucking thing about them, and then he died, and we were like, "Oh, all right, let's go through his stuff." And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, if you find any guns or anything like that, bring them to me so I can, like make sure they get handled properly." And I was like, "Wait, Grampy has guns?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah. He had his license to carry. He always kept guns around the house because you never know." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." Never knew that about my grandfather. Had no clue. You know. Um, it is true though. Real gun guys don't even let you know they have guns. You know. But people have gotten too comfortable with murder. Saw a guy shoot his girlfriend's ex-husband for getting a bit loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, JVD Media. Yeah, it was it the one where he showed up to the house because his ex-wife was like, "Oh, I'm not going to give you the kid, even though by law I'm supposed to give you the kid for your allotted time with him." If that's the one, then yeah, yeah. And here's the thing, right? I don't think it's that people are too comfortable with murder. I just think I think people are a little bit too egotistical. Like if we're talking about the same thing, like call the fucking cops. First off, get your bitch in check. I would never let my wife start shit with anybody. I would be like, "Babe, go back in the house. Go back in the house right now." All right? But that's the issue with single mothers, is that they're in this weird spot where it's like you try and be a man. You try and be a man and they get mad and they're like, "You're not going to talk to my kids that way. I'm a mother." They talk like that, right? Fucking but like I would never let my like I would tell my wife to shut her mouth before I let it get to that point. I'd be like, "Hon, it's his time with the kids. Let him have the kids. Quit playing games. What is your problem?" I'd be like that. But like regardless, like even if you were like, "I'm gonna stand by my woman," right? Like a fucking simp, like a cuck bitch. You don't gotta take the gun out. You can call the police and it's gonna be all good, right? The gun is for when there's a situation where somebody is really, really trying to fucking come at you. There is no sort of there is no talking to them, there is no giving them what they want or anything like that. They're trying to come at you in a real way. They're trying to kill you or otherwise just like maim you in some way, and you have no choice, right? If it's that same thing, right? If it's that same thing, then yeah, like it's people are just too quick to want to take things to their logical conclusion because they feel that they're right. It's like when somebody sits there and they say, hit me, go ahead, hit me, yeah, go ahead, touch me, go ahead, hit me, I'll give you the first shot, buddy. When somebody's talking like that, it's because they're trying to put themselves in a situation where they believe they have like the right, where it's self-defense. Fucking like weird situations like that. It's just all ego. It's like I've told this story before, fucking, because I use it as an example of like the way people will literally get into car crashes just because they feel like they're correct. I'm driving in this place, right, and there's these two holes, right. This one of them's an entrance, one of them's an exit to this parking lot, right. I had no clue that one of them was an entrance and the other was an exit. So I end up taking a turn into one of them, and uh, it turns out that's the exit. Now there's this dude at a Chinese restaurant who's driving towards it, and he's like he's like 30 to 40 yards away. He is not going to get there even close enough as to where I'm going to be a problem for him. I'm already halfway into the fucking exit, you know? And fucking this dude speeds up and gets like 5 feet away from me as I'm driving in the out place. And he starts laying on his horn, right? And he did this because in his mind, he was like, that guy's going out. That guy's coming in the out way. I'm trying to go out the out way. I'm correct. So if we get into a fucking car crash or if we get into a fight over this, it's okay because he's in the wrong because he was going in the exit. And me, I wasn't doing that. So it's totally fine what I'm doing right now. This dude literally would have gotten into a car crash had I not slammed on the brakes, you know? And then he starts fucking laying on his fucking horn. This old Chinese dude probably spoke no English, you know? Probably should have yelled some fucking like Dong Ya Bing Fu shit at him, you know? Fucking, but anyway, like it was just ridiculous, you know? And it wasn't because there was a real problem. It wasn't because I was being an asshole. It wasn't because like I had almost hit him. He almost hit me. You know, it was because he knew that on paper I was doing something that I technically wasn't supposed to be doing, even though I had no clue. It was an honest mistake on my part. And in his mind, he's like, haha, the law is on my side. Morality is on my side. I'm going to get this guy. That's literally what happens in a lot of these situations. That's what happened with that fucking ex-husband getting shot by the new boyfriend thing, you know. That's what happened with you know, it happens with a lot of people all the time, you know. And it's just the dumbest fucking shit, dude. It's just so stupid, you know. That's because you're a grown up and not a simp, but most guys these days are giant children. The maturity and IQ level of Western people has dropped off. Nah, I mean the IQ level definitely hasn't dropped off. There's always been fucking idiots. It's just now you get to see more of them, you know. You know, hey, it is what it is. The internet's a great thing, but there's definitely downsides. But yeah, like it's also not just about maturity or like, you know, high IQ or anything like that. A lot of guys are just trapped, you know. Like I guarantee you that dude was trapped and this was his opportunity to feel like a man again. Talking about the guy who shot the ex-boyfriend, the ex-husband. I guarantee you there was some aspect of it that was like that because that's something that the only guys who will talk about it are cringe as fuck. You know, the former MRAs. Is MRA even around anymore? And also like the MGTOW types and stuff like that is like, when you're in a relationship with a woman, you're essentially trapped a lot of the time because like a woman will just do whatever the fuck they want all the time. And when you're like, yo, that hurts me, please don't do that. They'll be like, whatever, you know, like they have that kind of attitude. Like you, even I'll be honest with you, even my wife, I've had to have conversations with her and like we've had to get used to each other in that way where it's like, I gotta like be able to do a little bit less of this and a little bit more of that, and she's got to be able to do a little bit less of this and a little bit more of that, right? Nobody's perfect, but like especially nowadays, people are just fucked up, and a lot of it is women, if we're just being honest here. And you know, because of that, like you get a lot of dudes who like, you know, my wife is good as to where like she knows just like keep her mouth shut and like back off, and I'll handle it, you know. And me, like, because she's good, I'll sit here and I'll think, like, do I want to put my wife through this right now? I'll tell you a story about something that happened that's kind of similar. That's kind of similar to the story I told you about, you know, the Chinese dude. I'll tell that in a second. But, like, you have a lot of women out there who, if you went outside and you were like, hun, get inside now. Look, man, I don't know what's up. It's none of my fucking business. I'm gonna try and get you the kids because she told me you're supposed to have the kids right now. I can't. Look. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to be help here. All right, just please don't be coming here and starting shit. All right, please don't be coming here and like getting loud and stuff like that. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. All right, like there's a lot of guys that if you did that, the woman would be like, "Don't you fucking tell me to," you know. It's like that type of shit. And it's crazy to see those types of dudes. Like, before I tell you the story that's similar to the Chinese dude story, I'll tell you another short one. I was working at this convenience store, right? And there was this chick who would come in every fucking like Sunday night for some reason. And you know, pretty girl, but very plastic, you know. Uh club hopper, bar fly type of bitch. And she'd come in, she'd get like a slush puppy. And she'd come up and she'd slap the money on the counter. She'd always have this fucking attitude, like she's like upset about something, and like I did something to her. And it happened a couple of times before I was like, nah, fuck this, I ain't taking that shit. She comes in the next time and it's even worse than it usually is, and I'm just like, yo, what's your problem? Why are you talking to me like that? What are you doing? Like, don't come in here with that shit, you know? She starts trying to yell at me. She starts trying to like freak out, and I was just like, dude, get out of here, leave. And she takes the slush puppy and she walks out. And me, you know, my ego a little bit, but still, it is what's right. I grab the phone and I start to call the police, because I mean, that is stealing, right? But even more than that, it's like, I don't want her back here. Like, cops, come here and tell her not to come back, you know, because like bitches like that will come back, you know. um they enjoy the drama. They enjoy the drama. um Her boyfriend comes in, right? This dude, and I'm expecting to have to fight this dude. But he's just straight up like, yo, what are you doing? Talking to his girl, like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And she's like, oh, he's being blah, 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 blah. And you just see him, his face is like, all right, go wait in the car. And he comes up, he throws me a couple bucks, and he's like, I'm sorry, man. And then he walks out. And it was just like, man, like, there's so many dudes that are in relationships that are like that, where like, there's just petulant, hellish women who cannot be dealt with in any way, shape, or form. All you can do is just give them whatever they want, and then they're still gonna hate you, they're still gonna disrespect you, and they're still gonna make your life hell. But at the very least, they're not gonna be flipping the fuck out at you as much. At the very least, they're not gonna be flipping out at you as much. And seeing, oh, hello. My dog's underneath and he's looking at me funny. Heel, 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 heel. Snoopy. Snoopy. Oh, I'm gonna show him to you. Anyway, there's so many women out there that are like that, you know, and it's just fucking crazy. Isn't that right, Snoopy? Isn't that right? He said yeah. He said yeah. You know, and it's like, it's funny because I see these guys try and argue against MGTOW, and it's like, well, I mean, you know, MGTOW doesn't exactly have the best answer, but you know, at least their answer isn't to just like date fucked up women. you know, you know. It's just a funny little thing. But even outside of that, ooh, hello, 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 hello. You know, like there's so many men that are just trapped in situations and relationships like that. I've been trapped in them, you know, where no matter what you do, it's never good enough. And the second you start trying to advocate for your needs, all of a sudden you're abusive, you're this, you're that, you need to shut up, blah, 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 you know? And that's why a lot of women need to be left alone. That's why a lot of women need to be dumped and like left on the side of the road, you know? But unfortunately, there's simps out there that are just like gonna fuck around anyway. But like, it's just such a tough thing. Dating today is such a fucking tough thing, you know. But it's like I was saying, right? Like my wife understands that when it comes to situations like that, to like stay out of them, you know, and because of that, she doesn't make them any worse. And I will usually I'll usually make the right decision just because I'm thinking about her, and how like I don't want to involve her in that stuff, because I can tell she doesn't want to have anything go down. Like, it was the 4th of July a few years ago. I'm at this grocery store in my town, and my town has a lot of privileged whites in it. There's a lot of privileged whites in my town. So yeah, you know what kind of people I'm dealing with here. These privileged whites. And I fucking turn, right? I'm like on the outside of the sidewalk. I'm on like the outermost part of the parking lot. I take a right turn, and after I finish my turn, this other guy comes and turns onto the same thing, and he stops and he sits there looking at me like I'm supposed to move. right? And I'm sitting here waving this guy off, and he's just like he's just like staring, not even at me. Like he's just kind of he looked at me for a minute, and then he just sort of started like staring up, staring ahead. He started looking around and shit like that, you know? And I was this close to getting out the car and dragging this dude out of the car because that was just some extremely, extremely disrespectful shit, you know? And this dude was a pussy. You could just see it. You could see the round face, you know? You can see like pudgy sort of fucking build, not even like strong, fat like me. Just like this dude never played sports, never boxed, never did jujitsu in his life, probably doesn't have a gun, right? So it was a situation where it would have been real fucking bad for him. It would have been extremely, extremely bad for him, right? And I'm sitting there, and after like, I want to say 30 to 45 seconds, I looked at my wife and I'm like, I might just get the fuck out of this car. Like, do you think I should get out of the car? And she was like, I don't know, you do whatever you want. And at that point, I was like, yeah, she probably doesn't want me to get out of the car. And you know what? I think my wife is more important to me than beating the fuck out of this punk bitch, you know? And because of that, I backed off and I let him pass. Of course, when he was passing by, I spat on his car. You know, I spat clear on his fucking window. I'll bet he had a fun time trying to get that off later. But like I didn't do anything to further escalate other than that, but whatever. I didn't do anything to further escalate because my wife wasn't being petulant and because she wasn't doing anything that was going to further make me upset, you know? And that's the situation that guy was probably in, was he was probably like, oh, my petulant wife, my petulant girlfriend is starting an argument with her fucking ex-husband. Fucking, I don't want this to keep happening. I can't stand up to my woman though. So I'm going to stand up to the other guy, and I have a gun. So I'm sure this guy is not going to want to do anything when he sees that I have the gun. Oh, fuck. I guess he does. You know, I guarantee you that's what happened. I would put money on it. I would put so much money on it, you know? I've seen guys go to prison indefinitely because of child support and they can't even pay it because they're in prison, catch 22. Oh yeah, that's what happened with my exes. That's what happened with my ex's that's that's what happened with my ex's not husband, what the fuck? Dad, my ex's dad. He was behind on his child support payments and he ended up doing time in prison. And when he got out, he couldn't get help from anyone. He lived in a tent in his mom's backyard, not even in the house. He lived in a tent in his mom's backyard. And then he got a construction company going, and now he's doing pretty well for himself, to my understanding. I would assume, at least. I would at least assume. He was an alright guy. You know, I liked him. But, you know, fucking, of course, that ex of mine was raised by, like, a petulant single mother, who was always trying to start shit with everybody around her because she's just, like, a fucking flat tire, you know? So now my ex is a flat tire. You know, she's just like that kind of fucking person. And it's like, fuck, you became your mom. All that time talking about not wanting to be your mom, you became your mom. Congratulations, fucking idiot. Great job, you fucking dunderhead. Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah, you only have to reverse it on yourself one time and you quickly realize how much of a drama queen you are picking fights in public. Oh, yeah, you know? I mean, MGTOW is pretty much 100% right. Like, it doesn't matter how good you think your marriage is. All she needs to do is say, I'm not happy, tee-hee, and take the kids and have your stuff. Oh, yeah, they are 100% correct, you know? And that's why, even though I'm a Christian and I call myself a Catholic, even though anyone who goes to church every Sunday would be like, shut up, you know? Like, it is a fact of the matter, and there is nothing wrong with not being married and not having kids. There's nothing wrong with that. People who, you know, they want to feel like they're world builders. They want to feel like they're going to fix everything. They're going to be the guy who says the thing that fixes everything on Twitter. They're quick to be like, "Oh, well, actually, you need to get married. You need to get married and have kids." And it's like, "Oh yeah, I need to." Pretty sure I don't need to do anything. you know. As a man, I don't have that same biological clock that a woman has, and because of that, I don't have that same psychological imperative to have kids, you know. I'm As a man, I'm not going to get baby rabies. That's not something that happens, you know. Women get baby rabies though. Around the time they turn 30, they're like, fuck, fuck, fuck. I need to somebody come in me. Somebody fucking come in me now. Come inside of me now. Somebody, one of you guys is going to come in me. That's what happens. They start frothing at the mouth, you know, and they desperately want kids. So they'll get married to some dude that they're not even really actually attracted to, but because he's going to be a good provider and he'll actually pump her full of kids, you know. She's like, all right, I guess I'll just learn to love him. I guess I don't know. I guess, you know. Um, excuse me. It's just it's crazy, you know. And that's why, like, even though I think MGTOW is cringe now, I'll never like openly denounce it in the way that a lot of other Christians do, is because for one thing, there's nothing wrong with living a chaste life. You know, unfortunately, a lot of these MGTOW dudes, they aren't living chaste lives. They get fucking sex dolls and shit like that. Yeah, that's another topic of conversation though. But like, there is nothing wrong with not getting married and not having kids. You know, what is every priest a fucking is every priest a fucking piece of shit now? Is every Catholic priest a piece of shit now? Fucking get out of here. But then in addition to that, nobody actually has a real solution because there really isn't a good solution if we're being honest here. You know, the only solution a lot of Catholics have is like, oh well, you just get married anyway. You just find the right girl, and it's like they change their mind like that. My wife could come in here right now and be like, I want a divorce, and what am I gonna do about it? You know, and it could be for something as stupid as like, oh, I don't like your haircut. You know, there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do at all. So don't even bother. You know, don't even fucking bother. That's what they say. You know. Now, if you find a woman who you think it's worth taking that chance for, you definitely 100% should. I found a woman that I think it's worth taking that chance for. Because of that, here I am now. But excuse me, if you're like a 21, 22-year old dude, it's like, nah, don't even bother, bro, you know. And I don't mean like run around fucking bitches. I mean like go monk mode. Just be like, nah, I ain't trying to be around these women. I ain't trying to talk to them, you know. They don't even want to be around you anymore. They go around you just to try and demonize you. They go to the gym so they can do their squats, and then when you like walk by trying to get to the bathroom, you don't even look at them. You just walk by. They put you on TikTok, you know, among other like disgusting behaviors and things like that they're able to just get away with because there isn't going to be a social movement that's started by or for men that matters. It's never going to be a thing, you know. Fucking it just won't be. It just won't be, you know. How is MGTOW cringe though? Like I sleep around with random chicks, but I see no reason to get into a long-term relationship. Well, you see the issue with MGTOW, and this is why I kind of stopped watching these MGTOW content creators a long time ago, is that they end up in situations where um they claim that they've given up on women. They claim that they don't care, that it's just, whatever, I'm just living my best life. But then all they do is sit in their sewing circles talking about how, like, retarded women are. You know, they're talking about how much they can't stand, like, women being fucked up and stuff like that. It's a situation where it's like, well, you know, considering how you say that you don't care anymore and that you're moving on with your life and you're attempting to self-actualize, you sure do a lot of sitting around talking about these people that you claim not to care about anymore, you know. um and then in addition to that, there's also these weird coping mechanisms, like I said, the sex dolls thing, you know, like I getting a sex doll, no fucking thanks. And then there's also other little like degenerate pieces and stuff like that, you know. Like Gab, right? I remember Gab banned loli shit And I remember hearing Turd Flinging Monkey getting upset. He got upset because it was banned. He's like, oh well, not all of it is lowly though. It's just, there's certain kinds of anime, like chibi anime, for instance. They look like little kids, but they're really not little kids. And then also, it's not always sexual and blah blah blah. He started like coping over that, and that was just such a weird thing. And I was just like, wow, huh, huh, hmm. All right. And that's why he won't use Gab, right? This is back before Twitter got to be a little bit better, you know. I know how we all feel about Twitter as of late, but like in terms of free speech, this Twitter still is relatively okay compared to the last Twitter, you know. Plus, I think Elon Musk is a little bit more apt for course correction than old Twitter is, but you get what I'm saying. Jack Dorsey was his name, you know. Elon Musk is a little bit more prone to course correction than Jack Dorsey is, I feel like. So, even though there was that issue over the last week or two, I don't think new Twitter is or X, I guess you could call it, is as bad as or worse than Twitter, old Twitter. I don't think it's but yeah, overall. I can't. Oh no. I can't jag off. Oh no. Oh fuck, excuse me. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you say it's 9,000 years old. Yeah. I saw a meme about that. Someone was like making fun of it. They were like, "Oh, dude, but no, she's not 4, she's fucking 3,000, dude. Here, I'll draw her ID for you. I'll draw her ID for you. You'll see she was born 3,000 years ago, dude. She's not 4 years old. She just looks that way because that's how their race ages. She's not 4 years old. She's 3,000. I'm gonna draw her ID for you right now." It's like, holy fuck, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, we're gonna play a little AoE, and then I'm probably gonna get out of here. I wanted to do more. You see, I'm gonna I've kind of found a bit of a niche for myself. I feel over the last week or two, I started doing the Gracie VHS tape thing, and that got more views than I'm used to getting on a lot of my videos. And then in addition to that, I also talked a little bit about John Danaher, no, not John Danaher, Jeff Glover, and I have a couple of reaction videos to Jesse Enkamp that I'm hoping will do, decent compared to what I usually do. Um, and because of that, these streams, right? I'm not saying it's going to be every single one of them, obviously. But my streams in the future, usually at least once a week, I'm going to be reacting to some kind of martial arts footage, um, a VHS from the 80s where some karate guy tells you that um, the answer to a gun is to stick your finger into the barrel, stuff like that. I'm gonna be reacting to stuff like that on these streams. It's not gonna be all of them. Part of what I'm trying to do for 2025 is I'm kind of trying to rearrange the way that I do a lot of different things, not even just with YouTube, also with like, how I coach people and stuff like that. There's a lot of things I'm kind of trying to redo or just kind of rearrange to make them a little bit better. And I think I may have found one way to do that because it makes it a little bit easier on me in terms of making videos. So we'll go ahead and we'll see about that. You should analyze a NASCAR pit road fight, dude. I'd love to, but I'd probably get copyright struck by fucking NASCAR because the system is broken. Tall women are attractive. I'm 6'4", and any girl under that is fine to me. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind tall women. It would be, I don't know. It would be a little weird to date a girl that's taller than me, but like, I don't mind tall women overall. I'm all right with that. I don't really have I don't really have a type. I think having a type is bullshit. I think that's a sign of mental illness. Not that I believe in mental illness the way that a lot of people do, but I think it's a sign of like some kind of immaturity, so some kind of a neurosis going on, some weird fucking shit. You know, you got a screw or two loose up in between your ears. I think that's what that is. Excuse me. Hmm. Hmm. I was wondering if I wanted to favorite or X out any of these, but anyway, like I don't think there's a such thing as a type, you know. I think there's like ugly and pretty, you know, and that is a spectrum. You'll have some people who are uglier than others, some people who are prettier than others, but like the idea of having a type to me is just like, oh, so you're fucked up in some way, shape, or form, you know. Like I like all women, you know, and sorry, I'm like trying to lock in now, and you know that means like big, tall, you know, short, small. Maybe not big. Maybe not big. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. You know. I'm never finding a 6'5" woman. Oh no. Poor JVD. Joe Rogan's type is basically a man. Scott, are you saying you could potentially fall in love with a bearded circus freak woman? What do you mean potentially? Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. I haven't played in a little under a week, so I'm actually kind of like fucked up. I'm kind of I wouldn't say rusty, but I just feel like a step behind, you know. The older I get, the more Asian girls look like aliens or monkeys. That's pretty crazy. That's I've never heard of something like that before. That's pretty wild. I wonder what that is. Excuse me. I will say like legs, right? I never understood the appeal of legs. Um I always thought it was weird that that was like a sex symbol, you know, like a girl's legs, but like there was just something that happened one day where I was just like, "Oh, I get it now." You know? Like a girl with long legs, they have a nice oh, um yeah. A girl with long legs, they have a nice little there's a nice little curvature to them, you know. It's like I get it. You know, I understand. I understand. Are you thinking of certain Chinese women? Uh-oh. Is it Han? Ooh, fuck, I'm tired out of nowhere. Fine legs are like a genetic tell, I think. Nice skin, healthy, etc. Yeah, like when I like nice legs aren't just like the leg shape either. It's also like is the skin smooth? Is it like tight, you know? It's like I don't know what it is. It just revs the engine. There's just something about it. I like those high socks that women have been wearing and shit like that, you know. Um what's it called? But yeah, there's just something about it. I mean, like hourglass figure is really nice, you know. A nice hourglass type figure is nice. I do like a nice delicate um you know, smaller figure when it comes down to it, but like when I see a girl with that hourglass, those like wide hips and shit like that, I'm just like, oh fuck. Especially if she's got nice legs to complement them, you know. It's like, man, that's crazy. clue. Where's the other one? Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to find the other one. Oh, nope. Right over there. Right over there. Believe it was this guy. Could be wrong. Alex B. wife build is great. Oh, dude, the best. I just love a brap queen, dude. I just love a brap queen. Is that too much for a man to ask? Nice little brap queen. I'm like losing steam right now. I just got tired. My sleep schedule has been a little bit screwy, so you know. Sad how effective they are at hiding cottage cheese. What do you? Oh, jeggings. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like that shit. That shit is the worst, you know. Like, and I'm glad that slim figures are starting to return. Because nobody ever had an issue with the girl who has a little bit more meat on the bones. But like what they're trying to say now, you know, with this health at every size movement and the fat acceptance movement is just like, it's just way too fucking much, you know. Yep. Good. It's just like, it's just disgusting, you know. And like so many women out there, they buy sculpting pants, they buy sculpting leggings, and they hide the fat. But the thing is, like, they're so prominent now, those types of, that type of clothing is so prolific, it's so everywhere now that people know to look for it. People like, you're able to see a girl and just automatically be able to tell, like, oh yeah, she's, you know, she's a big girl, you know. Oh, damn it. My dog being a bitch. Oh, you know what? I don't think anyone took him for a walk today. Snoopy. I'm trying to teach him that he can't just like whine to get everything that he wants. I'm kind of retraining him a little bit right now. So, gonna have to just chill for a minute or two and wait for him to kind of get the hint that I'm not paying attention to him. But, you know, it is what it is. Exactly, that sculpt shit is shameful. How do you wear that? Seriously, I couldn't live with myself for being so fake. Well, you see, that's the thing though, is like, if you're gonna see a woman, well, fuck, if you're gonna see a woman without that shit on, usually it's because you've already determined that you're gonna have sex with her in the first place. So she's not sitting here like, oh, like, I don't want this guy to know that I'm not in good shape. You know, it's oh, damn it. Whatever, bro. There, and then there. But yeah. Ah, son of a bitch. Yeah, this guy's a little bit ahead of me. Oh, and he's playing fucking Viets, isn't he? Is he playing Vietnam? Yeah. Like I said, I'm a step or two behind because I've just been like, I haven't been playing. I was gone for 5 days, but yeah, like that's kind of what it is, you know. The unfortunate reality with guys is that like we will, like, we're a lot more prone to being willing to settle, you know. Women don't settle in the way that guys do. Women settle for a guy who's like not that attractive but is a good provider. Men will settle for a woman who's just not that attractive, and then that's it. She doesn't have anything else going for her, you know. It's just we don't want to feel alone temporarily, and then like she weasels her way in, you know. That's what happened with the ex that I almost got married to. Is like, she wanted to fuck, and I was like, hey, that's fine by me. All right, I ain't gonna say no, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not really trying to have a relationship. So if that's what you're into, if you're trying to do this as a way to get in, it's not going to happen. Don't try it, you know, because you're just gonna be upset. And She was like, no, 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 it's fine, no, 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 it's cool, it's fine, it's fine. We have sex, and then all of a sudden she's not leaving me alone. She's not leaving me alone. And what's more is she started trying to blame me for her having feelings. She's like, well, you should have been able to tell that I wouldn't be able to handle it. It's like, shit. I think I kicked her out of my place at that point. I straight up kicked her out. I was like, dude, get the hell out of here now. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I was like, get the fuck out. There was a few times I kicked her out of my place. She was like chilling, and then she overstepped, and I was like, get out. You know? Well, like, I treated her like shit at the beginning, I'll be honest with you. But I also told her, yo, I'm not trying to be in a relationship. So, like, don't keep coming around if you want a relationship, because I'm not trying to be in that. And eventually, it did work, I guess. It did work, because I ended up dating her for 4 or 5 years. You know, I dated her for longer than I have been married to my wife. You know, not for much longer, of course. You know, as time marches on, but you get the idea. It's just like it's just dumb as hell. You know, you'll settle for a man. Yeah, Alex is no younger than like 37, 38 years old. Oh, fuck, yeah, castle age, fuck. And let me guess, this guy's gonna try and castle drop me too, like a fucking bitch. I got banned for hate speech. From chat. I can chat again, but I got a 6-day ban from the chat instead of a 24-hour ban. So I have a feeling they're probably like, oh, fucking, this kid's getting worse. We're gonna have to you know, he doesn't have many more chances left. So what I'm doing now is win, lose, or draw. Even if I talk a little bit of shit, it's just like I drop double ones on the guy. I'm just like, haha, and then you know, oh, damn it. There we go. I drop double ones on the guy, and then I end up muting him immediately. Yeah, he's Vietnamese, so he's gonna have fucking archers. That's annoying. That's alright, though. I know what to do with the archers. With the Archie boys. Hate has no home here. You're damn right, Neon. You're damn right. He did indeed date her that long. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Duh. What a fucking bitch, dude. Fuck this guy. One of those guys who camps the fucking one of those guys who camps the relics. Actually, you know what? I'd rather send them here so they can mass. Damn, you fucked that guy up. I get that one too. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Send them over here. Alright. Then you guys get your asses over there. Please tell me that one is still around. And it is. Thoughts on potentially meeting Bert on the .5 season? Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be until much later this year, if not next year. Because they said it was going to be season 3, season 4, then season 4.5. Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. You know, it'd be cool to meet him in person. I think he has some idea of who I am. I know Binks knows who I am. I talked to Binks on the more recent side. I'm trying to put something together with her and a few other people just because it'll be fun. Or bottom in the boom. Anyway, yeah, you know, we'll see how that works out. I'll bet Bert's an all right guy. Come on. Haha, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I only like Bert through a screen. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Bert is the type of dude that it's like he's fun to watch, he's not fun to be around, you know? He seems like a nice guy though. What the fuck are you idiots doing? Get your asses in there. Alright, and then... Oh, duh, I'm supposed to, yeah, you know, I'd rather bring it down here. Let's go ahead and get this thing. Where do they meet these mental cases outside of a Hot Topic? Dude, I went to Hot Topic the other day. I was at a mall in Maryland. Alright, so I've got enough of these fuckers. Scott, where you been lately? I'm sure you said, but just getting here. I was in Maryland for the New Year's. I was visiting some family down there. And Baltimore, like, there's some nice parts of Baltimore, you know, I have to say. I talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but anyway, there are some pretty nice parts of Baltimore. That I really did like, you know. I almost kind of wish I was still there because there was just something about it. The thing is, every time I go on vacation anywhere, no matter where it is, I'm always like, man, I wish I was still there. And I think that's probably because that's probably because I don't have to work there. It's probably because it's new, it's novel, you know. But Baltimore really did have some nice ass fucking shit there, you know. You know, even nicer than Boston. You know, Boston is such like a sterile city. There's like too much brutalism and too much like corporate brutalism, I guess you could say, you know? Because there's like that commie brutalism, but then there's like the sanitized corporate like shit that exists out there, you know, and it's just like fuck. It's just the architecture in Boston sucks until you hit the North End. The North End is the only part of Boston that's actually worth a damn in terms of like its architecture and its feel. Everywhere else, damn. That's the other thing that I forgot too, is that he's gonna have those guys. Oh, but I don't know. We might be all right for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit that thing. Oh fuck. Oh, you fucking idiots! Go 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 go. Fuck. That's all right though, because I'm gonna be able to crash that thing before he's able to. Sick. Fucking A, dude. Whatever. I need to jump on this now. You assholes, get over there. But yeah, like I couldn't even tell you exactly what I like about Baltimore because I didn't even realize I liked it at first. You know, I was just like, ah, yeah, you know, it's whatever, it's Baltimore. But it was probably the part of Baltimore that I was in that was nice because I was in the hipster part. You know, I was in the part that you go to when, yeah. Let's see if I can get this guy. I was in the part that like if you're not actually from Maryland, you just moved to Maryland at some point. The transplants, you know. It's like my cousin. My cousin lives in Alabama and he lives in the northern part of Alabama and he said, "Yeah, I live in the part where like if you meet somebody, there's a very good chance that they're not actually going to be from Alabama, you know." All right, let's get our asses over there. Trying to think of where I should go next because I only have two of these. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna take away his ability to actually create more of anything. You know. You know, make him come over and get these guys. And even if he does destroy them, he's in for a rude awakening when all these woad raiders get him. Yeah, it was just a nice area, you know. I think that's really what it was. And then it was novel, it was new. And then also, I live in an area where you can't really walk anywhere. You need a car if you want to get to a store. And it was nice to go for a night walk like I used to back when I lived in an area where I was close to things. Oh, this fucking asshole. Alright, in that case. Yeah, that's right. Micro those fucking assholes, that's right. You know, fuck it. Let's go get him. Yeah. He has to micro these guys or else fucking they're not going to work for him. Alright, well. Get your ass over there. 4. Alright, and then here. Alright, I'm not doing that bad. I'm going to see if I can drop a castle on him. So 1, 2, 3. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Let's see if we can get our asses back here, huh? I'll send these guys too, just in case. Hopefully these guys will be alright. But yeah, I also went to Fredericksburg, Virginia too, is the other thing. And Fredericksburg was really important to me because alright. Here he is. Here he is. Let's see if I can get this thing first, though. Let's see if I can get it first, though. Come on, let me get it first. Oh, no, it ain't gonna happen. Son of a bitch. Anyway, I went to Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is a really important place to me because, oh, you fucking son of a bitch, dude. Fuck. I thought I was gonna be real slick, too. Oh, well, what you gonna do? I'll go ahead and drop them here, and then here, and then I will, you know what, fuck it. I ain't even gonna bother. But yeah, Fredericksburg, Virginia is where the Battle of Fredericksburg in the Civil War occurred, which is where my ancestor was wounded fighting for the Union. You know, it was really cool to see that because he took part in the battle in a really important way. You know, the what he fought in. Oh, all right, cool. Oh, excuse me. You know, he was part of the 20th Massachusetts. I've talked like at length about him. You know, he was part of the 20th Massachusetts that was called the Harvard Regiment. They called it that because a lot of the officer corps were Harvard graduates. It's a really important thing to me. Oh, get out of here. And then 1, 2. Yeah, we're good. It's really important to me because, like, the 20th Massachusetts was pivotal in that battle. Now, the Union lost the battle, but the thing is, They didn't really lose until the second day. My ancestor was wounded on the first day when they were clearing the town of Fredericksburg. It was them and then two other regiments that were in their brigade, the 7th Michigan and the 19th Massachusetts. They did the heavy lifting on that day. And that's a really important thing to me because, you know, it's ancestry and family are both very important to me. And you know, it's just it was really cool to be there, especially because like I'm sitting here doing the math and I'm realizing that like um I'm doing the math and I'm realizing that like there's a couple of different places he could have been wounded at, and they were where the fighting was the fiercest throughout the day, which is like, you know, it's really cool to know that my ancestor took part in history like that. Because there was the street corner of Caroline and Hawk, right? Caroline Street and Hawk Street. You know, they intersect, and on this street corner, they got, I won't say pinned down, but they stopped there and they started fighting. And what they had to do, because urban combat was not a huge thing back then, it really didn't exist, you know. They had to adapt on the fly to figure out how they were going to fight in this environment. So what they did was, since it was a street corner, they controlled one part of the intersection, and then there was fire coming from the other three parts of the intersection. So they lined up in a box, right? They had different companies here, here, and there, and they fired in all directions instead of just getting caught in the kill box and being unable to really do anything about it. You know, and that's a really cool thing. But then in addition to that, the way things may have worked out, he may have even been able to get past Caroline and Hawk Street, because what happened is the 20th Massachusetts stopped at Caroline and Hawk. They formed the box formation, but then Company A pushed forward and took a left down the next street, and they kept on going down the street until they met up with a regiment of Mississippians in Barksdale's brigade. And this regiment that they met up with was actually commanded by the roommate of the commander of the 20th Massachusetts back when they were both at Harvard together. So these are Harvard roommates that are now fighting on opposite sides of the war that just so happened to end up in the same battle facing off against each other. So that's like a really cool little synchronicity thing. But then in addition to that, they definitely knew that it was each other, because the Mississippian commander, he didn't want to leave when he was told to withdraw. He was told to retreat, but he didn't, because he didn't want to allow his Harvard roommate to have one up on him, right? So that was like a really cool thing. But the thing is, the reason why I'm saying, oh yeah, and I think my ancestor comes in too, is because, yeah. The reason why I'm saying I think my ancestor comes in here too is because, yeah, let's go here. Sorry, just trying to, now I got to micro a little bit. Anyway, the reason why I say I think my ancestor may have been involved in that is because the leader of that little group that was able to move into, or further into Fredericksburg, they were Company A, who were led by. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this shit out right now. I'd rather just I'd rather take the chance at this point. Anyway, basically Henry Abbott, right, was the leader of Company A, and he was also the de facto commander of the regiment that day as well, because their colonel, right, Colonel William Raymond Lee, he was wounded a while before and he was recovering. He was there, then there, yeah, and then here. Henry Abbott was the one who pushed forward. Now, as the leader of Company A, he was also commanding Company E, which was the company that my ancestor was a part of in the Civil War. Now, the reason why that happened is because the 20th Massachusetts was in so many crazy battles that they didn't even have half the strength of what a typical regiment was like expected to have. I think it was like 800 to 1,000 troops is what like the minimum for a regiment was supposed to be, or something like that. I remember reading it in the book that I have on the 20th Massachusetts. They had 300 guys going into that battle. So they had to combine the companies. So even though Henry Abbott was Company A, they had to take Company E and combine them. So they got folded into Company A. At least if my memory serves me correctly. It has been a little while since I read this. This thing, you know. But yeah, so that was really cool. It was really cool to see that. It was cool to see a part of history that my bloodline was involved in that way. You know, I'm doing a bad job of explaining simply because I'm in the middle of a game right now, a game that I'm actually starting to lose. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, this guy has to play. This guy, of course, playing a fucking archer and a cav civ. You know. You shouldn't have good archers if you're also gonna have elephants. I think it should be one or the other, or maybe just fucking excuse me. Maybe horse archers are just OP when you're microing them. Either way, you know, it's just annoying to have to deal with. You've like got a guy beat, but because he's using like a fucking bullshit unit, it's like, oh great, you know. Uh-oh. I got to try Cookout, I got to try Hardee's, and I got to try Shake Shack, which I know that's a New York thing, but we don't have a ton of Shake Shacks around where I'm at. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to be able to try those as well when I was down there, you know. Cookout was iffy. I wasn't impressed by their shakes. I did like Cheer Wing. Cheer Wing is actually pretty good. It's like a cherry cola, but it's like very syrupy. But it's pretty good. I like it. I like it quite a bit. Oh, you know what else I need? Duh. See if I can get these, and that way I'll be able to do some... Oh, you see? He thinks he's gonna hit me with his fucking junk units. He must be desperate or something if he's sending junk units after me. It's a little strange. Fucking ate him alive, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, like, Cookout wasn't that great. I wasn't impressed by their shakes, but I do like Cheer Wing. Cheer Wing is pretty good. I liked Hardee's, and the thing is, I had the Hardee's after 2 hours, because it was a 2-hour drive, and actually, more than 2 hours, because it was a, like, 2.5-hour drive from Fredericksburg back to Baltimore, because the traffic was just that bad. It was just, like, dog shit. So, you know, there's that. But, like, I had Hardee's, and Hardee's was actually, like, mad good. Even though it was, like, really, really cold. I wish we had Hardee's up here, because I would, I like their shakes, but I like their shakes after I, like, had, I liked their shakes after I, I liked their shakes after they were melted a little bit, I'll be honest with you. They got to a point where, I didn't like it at first, but it got to a point where I was like, oh no, this is actually really good, and I think I liked it because it was melted. Oh yeah, we're in alright shape. Yeah, you see this guy's fucking microing everything. Everything he sends to me, he's not just sending it. He's like trying to play some sort of tactic with it, you know? I gotta get in there now. Um, Shake Shack was the best though. I really did like Shake Shack. I know they cucked on the I know they cucked on the whole fucking I know they cucked on the whole um I know they cucked on the whole COVID thing, you know, so fuck them for that, but like they do make really good shit, I will say, you know. Oh man, dude, am I not gonna make it? These guys are just too powerful. Oh, Andy's they're upgraded too. That's why. Yeah, I'm about to just call it quits because I don't like this guy. This guy's not even being aggressive. He's just holding on. You know, that's all that's happening, and I don't feel like I got tired of playing games where dudes strictly play defensively. You know, and I'd rather just quit and take the L than sit here like playing for hours and hours with some pussy. You know. I'm all set on that one. Yeah, I'll see what happens with this next push that I try to do with all these guys. But other than that, you know, not really interested. Hardy's does got good bug goy shakes. Fucking yeah. Like, Cookout had real shakes, but their shakes were just not that good. Yeah, fuck it. I could repel this, but it's gonna be a hard fight, and I just don't feel like doing it. You know, especially now that these guys are here, it's gonna be that much harder. So it's just kind of like whatever, fuck it. You know, uh, fucking mute that guy. Anyway, um, what else? What else though? What else? Yeah, I had Hardee's. I got a little bit of everything from Hardee's. I got their chicken tenders. I got a burger. I got fries. I got a shake. I only ate some of the fries. I ate the whole burger, and I ate a couple of chicken tenders. I had the whole shake. Cookout had real shakes. They had like actual ice cream shakes, but the thing is, they just weren't as sweet as you would like. They just weren't as good as you would have wanted them. You know, fake shakes that are made in a powder is still good. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, um, and then what's it called Shake Shack had like real shakes that were actually good. You know, um, at least more on the real side that were actually good. I didn't get to try Checkers when I was down there. I would have liked to try Checkers because it's just nice to know that you've tried different fast food places. It's just nice, you know. It's like part of the experience of being in a place like that, you know. And Massachusetts doesn't have anything special, you know. Like New England is a very boring place to tell you the truth. There isn't a whole lot that goes on here. We don't have a lot of variety. You know, we only started getting Sonic and Chick-fil-A like 10 years ago. And even then, it's like only in select areas, you know? Like, good luck finding one outside of like the North Shore, whatever, the South Shore, whatever, you know? Like, you're not just going to find them everywhere like you do a lot of Hardee's and other things like that. Um, well, you know, I wouldn't say Hardee's. More like um, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. There's a McDonald's, a Wendy's, and a Burger King in every fucking town. But like, good luck finding a Sonic. Good luck finding a Chick-fil-A, anywhere that's not like you know. It's almost like they have an agreement that you can't have two of them within a 40-mile radius. It's crazy, but Arby's is another one, right? When I went out to New York in 2021, I stopped at an Arby's because I just happened to pass one on the way, and it wasn't the best that I've ever had. I believe I got a pub dip from them. I got a pub dip. It wasn't the best that I've ever had, but you know what? It was passable, and I'm glad that I got to try Arby's. You know, I'm very much someone who prefers to have experiences, right? And that sounds so like vague and weird. What I mean by that is like I want to be able to look back and say that I did this or that I tried that. You know, that's kind of how I've lived my life. Is like what am I gonna like when I'm older and I'm thinking about how life has gone like. Am I going to look back and think, oh, yeah, I worked and I got more money? Or am I going to think, oh, yeah, I tried Arby's once. It was actually kind of good. I remember it was on that trip to New York, you know? I'm trying to do things that make something a little bit more special, you know? And having tried Cookout and Hardee's both in Northern Virginia, and, having tried Shake Shack in Baltimore, and knowing that next time I go down there, I gotta search out a fucking Checkers so I can try that. I don't even know what Checkers has. What does Checkers have? Let's look that up real quick. Fuck. Oh, it's Checkers and Rallies, and apparently. Wait a second. Wait a second, huh? Oh, yeah. Apparently, it's Checkers and Rallies, and which is kind of funny because it's like Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. It's like, why do they have Carl's Jr. and Hardee's? That's such a weird thing. But yeah, like, oh, so Checkers is like kind of like an Arby's sort of deal, or maybe even like a Cookout sort of deal. Although I don't think Cookout had brisket sandwiches and shit like that. I mean burgers, wings, hot dogs. Nice, nice. You see, like, we don't have this type of shit up north. Up north is so basic, it's so annoying, and like, it's just another reason why people don't like living here. People really don't like living in Massachusetts, and there's a couple of reasons for that. For one thing, it's cold and dark for half the year, but then for another thing, like, you don't have this shit. You know, there's nothing in Massachusetts that the rest of the country does not have. And then on top of that, the rest of the country has shit that Massachusetts does not have. Shit that makes their area a little bit more special. And because of that, you're fucking sitting here like, oh, all right, uh, yeah, why do I live here? I tried Hardee's, it was great. You ever tried White Castle? No, I've never tried White Castle. I've had those frozen White Castle burgers, but I know not to even try and compare those to what the real thing probably is. I would love to try White Castle for real one of these days. And even then, it's like White Castle's a New York thing, but we don't just get that out here. It's so weird how we don't get White Castle out this way, even though we're attached to New York. We're 4 hours away, you know? Fucking, you would think that White Castle would be around here in some form, but I guess not. Um, we got so many good roast beef places where I live, and they serve a lot of other food. Yeah, and that's like a specifically North Shore thing. Like Kelly's roast beef is like a big thing in the North Shore. But like down here, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get roast beef from pretty much any pizza place, obviously, but like it's not like a special thing down here. It's just whatever. It's roast beef. We used to have a place that served roast beef and ice cream, and it closed down when I was like 7. You know, um, for some reason in Massachusetts, roast beef is a North Shore thing. You know, but hey, uh, man, that's a picture. I'm sure the sandwich isn't as good as it looks. Oh yeah, of course, 100%. But what I'm saying is like, you can't get a barbecue brisket melt or a brisket sandwich with 3 times more brisket in Massachusetts. You don't get that. If you're gonna get that, you're gonna get it from a place that is going to order from it. That's gonna order from it. What the fuck? You're gonna get it from a place that is going to itchy. You're gonna get it from a place that's going to um it's gonna be like a barbecue place. It's not gonna be like, oh, fast food. And I mean, look at this, fucking all these places, right? All these places. You even got California, right? Fucking Iowa, 2 in Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, Missouri, Nevada, New Jersey, New York. You got 35 in New York. Again, we're attached to New York. Why can't we have these? You know, dude. I had fucking Golden Corral down there, bro. Dude, baby, she can't hear me. I don't feel like going up and I don't feel like going to get her either. Fucking Golden Corral. I feel like I have been missing out this entire time because Golden Corral is so fucking great, dude. I love the fuck out of Golden Corral, and I'm so upset that I could not go back there before we left. I'm mad that we couldn't go back there before we left. We went there the first night. Literally, we got there. We went to the place that we were staying. I fell the fuck asleep for like 3-4 hours. I wake up. We go watch a movie, and we go get Golden Corral. And I was like, fuck, man, this is fantastic. You know? And we don't have Golden Corral up here. Oh, look, fucking, hold on one sec. Like, honestly, I'm sitting here trying to start a business. I should fucking start a fast food business in America. In America is where I should start. I should groups groups. Oh, I see. Okay. Um uh hold on. Um anyway, yes. No, it's over there. Yeah. Oh, baby. How good was Golden Corral?
It was good. I like it.
Yeah.
I wanna go. I would like to go back.
I was gonna say I'm mad that we couldn't go back before we left.
Yeah.
And I'm looking it up now, and fucking the only Golden Corrals that I can see are in Manchester, New Hampshire. It says it's temporarily closed. That is 51 miles away anyway. The other one is Springfield. You don't want to go to Springfield for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
never.
far too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's far, and it's far. You know, like there's nothing up here.
Yeah.
Everything good is elsewhere. For some reason, we just don't have anything.
We don't have anything.
Yeah,
Legit.
yeah, and it makes me want to start something just because there's a vacuum of places where it's like, oh, we're a fast food place that also does grilled cheese. We're a fast food place that does quesadillas, but we're not fucking pretending to be Mexican.
Hmm.
Like Cookout wasn't that great, but I liked the concept of like, yeah, we're a fast food place, but also like you don't just have to get burgers if you don't want.
Yeah. And the burger was good. The burger was good.
Yeah, I think I tried it by the years, and I think I remember thinking it was good.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Hardee's. Like Hardee's was it was just McDonald's, but it was still pretty good because it was again McDonald's, but not. It was its own little thing. You know, Arby's even. Remember we went to Arby's in New York?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like we don't got shit out here.
No.
It just fucking sucks ass.
No options.
Yeah, it's insane.
Hmm.
It's fucking dumb, dude. It's fucking stupid. Scott's bar baby. Ah, she didn't hear me. I was gonna read her that Scott's barbecue and foot massage exactly. Fucking, they got Golden Corral in Springfield and Manchester, New Hampshire. Take your pick. Oh yeah, dude. Fucking no, thank you. No fucking thank you. You know. I wonder if goy slop correlates with crime and a lack of peace. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. No lie. You know, for sure. Now, is it causation? Yeah. I wouldn't say so necessarily, but there's definitely a correlation. You know, people talk about food deserts. What they mean is places that the only area you can, the only area. What they mean is it's places where the only thing you can get is like fast food, KFC, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken and shit like that. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, those two places, those two completely different places. But yeah, man, Arby's was good for only the cheap price. Nothing's cheap anymore. needs to go gamer mode and fix this shit. I ain't tipping your microwave ass no more. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing about Cookout that I liked is that like you had platters where you had like a main like an entree and two sides for $7.99, and you got the drink too. That's like unheard of today, specifically up here. You know, I got two cheese quesadillas because for some reason I just didn't trust the chicken. I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to give these guys chicken quesadillas a chance. I think I'm all set on that. So I just got two cheese quesadillas. I got a side of fries and then also a bacon wrap, which is basically just a BLT or not even a BLT, a chicken bacon ranch, just without the chicken. It was literally just a bacon ranch in a wrap, you know. And you know what? It wasn't half bad. It wasn't half bad. Um, but like we need shit like that, you know. Shit like that makes life worth living. And I know that's such a like fucking dumbass. I know that's like a I know it's like a Bugman take is like I need my goy feed to want to survive. I need my goy feed to feel like life is worth living. I need my Funko Pops and my and it's like, you know, a little bit of consumerism isn't always a bad fucking thing. Sometimes it's nice to be able to just let loose and be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna eat some McDonald's. Fuck it. Who cares? Fuck it. Yeah, who cares? You know? There's nothing worse than the guy who's like, "Oh, what? You actually enjoy stuff that makes you feel good? What are you a fucking what are you a fucking soy boy?" Like there's nothing worse than that kind of guy. Those guys fucking suck, you know. It's like, all right, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have McDonald's and Hardee's and Arby's and et cetera, for dinner every night. Maybe you should lay the fuck off of it. All right, fine, cool. I agree. I agree. You're correct. But like fuck off. You know, just fuck off and let me enjoy my shit. Let me enjoy my life. Am I allowed to enjoy my life? I guess not, you know. It's consumerism when it's abused. Otherwise, it's simply a regular ass economy. Exactly, you know? Exactly. Chicken places have gotten so greasy the last 5 years or so, dude. I've I can't remember the last time I had well, I do remember the last time I had KFC. I had Famous Bowls. Famous Bowls from KFC are delicious. I love the hell out of the Famous Bowl. And I don't eat fast food like that. The only reason I was eating fast food is because I was on vacation and I was like, fuck, I gotta try Hardee's, like I said. But like I'm not going to KFC even if it's for a Famous Bowl. So like I want to make my own Famous Bowl soon. I should talk to the wife about that and be like, yo, like let's do this soon. But KFC Famous Bowls are delicious. I've never tried a double down, but I wish I could. I wish they would bring those back. If they haven't. But um KFC chicken specifically, the last time I had that must have been like 15 or 16, maybe even 17 years ago at this point. And I just remember having it and it felt like you could feel almost like grease on the outside. That's how greasy it was. It felt like there was a coating of grease on the outside. And when you were biting in, you would feel your teeth almost go through the grease before it hit chicken. Then it goes into the chicken and you take the bite. And I have not had KFC chicken since. I've had Popeyes. Popeyes is not much better, but it's good enough as to where I'm like, fuck, all right, whatever. I'm in a jam. I'll take some. But yeah, like I made fried chicken the other day and it was not that greasy, you know. I burned it, unfortunately. I gotta perfect the cooking of my fried chicken. That way I don't burn the skin, so that I don't burn the coating, right? But like it was not nearly as greasy, and I have no fucking clue what they're doing to make their shit that greasy. It beats the hell out of me, you know? That's just fucking insane. Prison food, Famous Bowl. Oh, hell yeah. Fucking. I bunked with a laborer felon once. He made prison slop for me. That's pretty sick. Hell yeah. Those guys get creative because all they have to do is just sit around thinking about it all day. Like, oh, what would happen if I took this jelly and this tuna and I mixed it together? I had Popeyes. I like their chicken sandwich. Yeah, I've never had a Popeyes chicken sandwich. I'm pretty loyal to Chick-fil-A. I'm pretty loyal to Chick-fil-A, you know. 46 45 28 asks Scott Sullivan MMA, could TJ have killed the Russian knife wielding soldier in an unarmed fight to the death? I don't even know why you'd ask that question, sir. Fucking that implies that the Russian soldier would even have a chance in the first place. I think TJ would have let the dude stab him until he got tired, and then he would have been like, "Okay, my turn." TJ full of holes, full of holes. The dude tries to stab him in the head, it gets stuck. TJ's just got a fucking knife sticking out of his head, and he's just looking at you with his TJ stare, and he's just like, "Okay, are you done? Because if you are, it's my turn." And then he just goes at him. That'd be the craziest shit. TJ is really an SCP. TJ is not a man. He's an SCP is what he is. Oh man. But yeah, I should get out of here. I only wanted to do 2 hours tonight because I only wanted to do 2 hours tonight because I'm kind of easing back into being productive again. In addition to that, I got tired out of nowhere, like around an hour and 15 in, so I was like, oh fuck. Anyway, but yeah, so next stream is going to be Sunday at 5 p.m. We're going to be doing some Oblivion. All right, it's going to be Oblivion Sunday, so definitely check that out. 5 p.m. EST on Sunday. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year. All right, look, I'll be honest with you guys. All right, I wasn't on Fish Tank season 3. I don't know if I'm going to be on season 4. All right. Regardless, though, if I'm not on season 4, I'm probably just going to end up falling off even more than I already have because I was never huge in the first place, right? So even calling it a fall off is ridiculous, you know. Starting 2025 in a place that I was hoping I would be a little bit better off in with this YouTube channel. I figured maybe I'd be able to keep 50 to 100 viewers on my streams and shit like that by now, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Regardless of what happens, I'm here and I'm doing this because I enjoy it. It's not about the clout or anything like that. I could really give a shit. I do this because I like it. And I just want to thank you guys, people who have stuck around, you know, even though I wasn't on season 3, and there's people who are like, oh, new fish, new fish, new fish. I want to watch Binks. I want to watch this person. I want to watch that person. Just thank you for being here. You know, thank you for still being here. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I love the hell out of you, you know. And excuse me. Anyway, looking at season 3 now, we can see why they had no returns. I don't see that being a all the time long-term thing. Maybe not, you know. Maybe not. But regardless, you know, I do think that me not being on season 3 definitely had an effect on my viewership on this channel for obvious reasons. You know, and I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here anyway, right? I definitely expected people to be watching season 3 over my streams, obviously, right? But now that season 3 is over, a lot of you guys came back, and I just want to say thank you for that. Or if you stuck with me through the whole thing, even while season 3 was going on, thank you for that as well. You know, 2025, I want to make it the best year that I can make it. And I hope that you guys have the best year that you can have in 2025. And I'm going to keep on working. I'm going to keep on working in every aspect of that, whether it's YouTube, streaming, whether it's, you know, any of the other stuff I have written on my fucking whiteboard as reminders of things that I have to do. Just, you know, just thank you guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you later. All right. I'll see you on Sunday at 5 p.m. EST for some Oblivion. Peace out.